Hey everyone, it's Miss Spencer. Today we're going to be doing order of operations. The objective for today is that students will be able to evaluate expressions using the order of operations. In solving equations or expressions, you always want to be sure that you are using gems to help solve the equation. Gems tells us which operation to solve first in the equation. The G stands for grouping symbols. So if you see parentheses or brackets in your equation or expression, you should solve whatever inside those parentheses first. The E stands for exponents. So if you see exponents, such as 10 to the power of 2, in your equation or expression, you want to solve those after solving anything that's in the grouping symbols. The M stands for multiplication and division. If you have both multiplication and division in your expression or equation, you solve them left to right, just as if you were reading a sentence. Finally, the S stands for subtraction and addition. Same thing as multiplication and division. If you have both, you're going to solve them from left to right, just as if you were reading a sentence. So let's try them out. Let's evaluate or solve the following expressions. Don't forget to use gems to help us remember which operation to solve first. Here we have 2 times the sum of 4 and 8 divided by 3. So here we see that we start with G for grouping symbols, and we see there are grouping symbols in this expression. Inside the grouping symbols is 4 plus 8. So we're going to solve that first. 4 plus 8 is 12. So now we have 2 times 12 divided by 3. Next, we're going to see if there's any exponents. There are no exponents in this expression, so we're going to be moving on to the M, which stands for multiplication and division. Notice here we have multiplication and division in this expression, so we're going to solve that from left to right. First, we're going to do 2 times 12. 2 times 12 equals 24. Now we can divide by 3. 24 divided by 3 is 8. So our answer is going to be 8. Let's try the next one. 10 to the power of 2 minus the sum of 30 and 10 plus 20. All right, so let's start with G, or grouping symbols. We do see that we have parentheses in this expression. Inside the parentheses is 30 plus 10, so we're going to do that first. 30 plus 10 is 40. So now we have 10 to the power of 2 minus 40 plus 20. We don't have any more grouping symbols in this expression, so we're going to move on to the E for exponents. Notice here we do have exponents in this expression. 10 to the power of 2 is an exponent, so we need to solve that next. 10 to the power of 2 is the same as 10 times 10. 10 times 10 equals 100. So we have 100 minus 40 plus 20. Now we're going to move on to multiplication and division. There is no multiplication or division in this expression, so we can move on to subtraction and addition. We see that there's both subtraction and addition in this expression, so we go from left to right. First, we're going to subtract 100 minus 40. We have 100 minus 40, which equals 60, and now we can add the 20. So 60 plus 20 equals 80. Let's try another one. Here we have 3 and 25 hundredths plus 1 and 75 hundredths times the difference between 8 and 4 tenths minus 5 and 4 tenths. Okay, so start with the grouping symbols. Notice we have 2 sets of grouping symbols, so let's start with the left first. 3 and 25 hundredths plus 1 and 75 hundredths is 5. Now we can solve the second set of parentheses. 8 and 4 tenths minus 5 and 4 tenths, which is 3. Now let's move on. There are no exponents in this expression, so we can move on to the M for multiplication and division. There is multiplication in this expression, so now we can multiply 5 times 3, which is 15. So our answer is 15.